This is the Hustler's Corner podcast clips.
I mean, this science has told us that, Southern Africa is the cradle of humankind. We are more than 3 million years old. Our religion is only 2,000 years old.
Christianity.
Yeah, right? And there's no any other religion that's a million old. None.
Yeah, but Hinduism is 4,000. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that none is because
that old.
If this is the cradle of humankind, and I'm using Christianity because about 70 to 80% of South Africans are Christians, and even in the world we've got about 1.5 billion followers of Christianity. So it is the biggest, because when you look in Hinduism, which is a faith system before I became a Sangoma that I really followed because of my Indian heritage, they don't say it's a religion, they say it's a culture. They don't speak to gods, they speak to different manifestations of God. So if you're speaking, you are wanting to direct and channel the energy of money, you'll speak to Lakshmi, so Ganesh for something else. But anyway, so I'm speaking with the context and the majority of the people. So if Africa is 300 million years old, and religion is not even 100 years old. So who were we before religion told us who we are? And I think for me, when I left the church, that was my inquiry. But when I moved from the church and went into like this radical black consciousness, I also saw that a lot of everything that we still have as Africans still has its programming in religion.
Yes.
Even Pan-Africanists, because they'll be like, no, but you see, the only way, the minute for me you say the only way, I'm troubled. Because that's not what spirituality is about. So even if when I say the only way you can connect to your ancestors is to Patlasbu and Zulu, then I have a problem with that. Right.
Do you know where I end currently, and I know it goes further back, is language.
Yeah.
So you're speaking Pan-Africanism, Black consciousness, religion. For me, a lot of what we call civilization and whatever today started with language, because that becomes for me the biggest difference between us and animals. Because as soon as you have language, then you start creating constructs. And if one of the early constructs is religion, then it becomes the base for everything. Every story, every law, every system that you create, unfortunately. But for me, once we can move beyond language, and I think that's the beauty of things like music, that's the beauty of things like food, of nature, the fact that you don't need a tree to speak to you in a formalized language, because as soon as that language got formalized, it came with whoever created it and their desired indoctrination or worldview. Yeah.
No, but that's correct. And because is when I say the essence of who we are, so I would say we are physical manifestations. We are God here experiencing, thyself.
I watch one of
Thyself, and by thyself, because when you hear God in the Sotho language, Ramasedi. So it's about the divine masculine and feminine frequency coming together, and in that unionship then life is formed, right? So it's not about, because I struggle sometimes even when I use it, because it's easy for people to reference who I'm talking about. But when I say God, man, there's an image of a guy that I don't like, and that troubles me, because I cannot be wanting to engage with that higher level of consciousness with that image, because it's going to perpetuate and manifest the things that have left me outside of the margin of things. So what do I mean by that? If I say God, I do see a white man,
Yes.
with a beard in heaven waiting to punish me and making sure that I do not sin.
Yes.
We don't even understand what sin is. Sin is Greek, came from the Greeks. That means you've missed the mark, and we're gonna miss the mark. That's why we are here to have a human experience. We're gonna miss the mark all the time, because we are God experiencing. If you read the Conversations with God by Neil, it speaks, we are God experiencing thyself here. So if we then want to be like, no, but we were highly God in our purity and innocence from 0 to 2, then we had the programming, we had the religion, we had the cultural belief systems, we had the environmental contexts, we had a lot of things that programmed us. Then it moves us from our God self. Then we started seeking God outside of ourselves, because everything said God is outside of you. I don't believe in that concept of God, because why that is so that people don't have to be held accountable and responsible.
Yes.
Colonizers don't have to be held accountable and responsible for the injustices, the slavery, I almost said something, but because I don't know, yeah.
That's
Like,
a full episode on the Hustler's Corner with DJ Spoo. Thank you very much.